30 seconds left. Sanchez and Steele. Gets it off to Clausen. Clausen stops. Pops. Three-point shot. Oh, my goodness. Pass knocked loose. Riddle comes away with it. The Riddler.
And it's slam dunk by Riddle.
Riddle with the steal and the throwdown. Look into the air. He's got a man open. Passes up. Complete. Touchdown. Yellville. Hey everyone, this is the Loose Cannon, David McBee, and welcome back to TLSN Overtime. Man, we got two big guests that we got to talk to today, especially with the Lady Panthers winning a state championship in track. We got Coach Clark, Gustin, and then also April Martin, who, I mean, I've been trying to negotiate. We've been trying to track her down after years of negotiation, finally get her on our show. But so glad to have you guys join us here on TLSN Overtime.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Oh, well, we're happy to have you guys. I know you guys are really busy. Appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time. But, hey, first of all, we got to talk about the Lady Panther track and field team, not just district champions, region champions, but state champions. Congratulations to your teams, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a struggle, but we got there.
Well, let's kind of talk a little bit about it. You know, winning the state championship. What was that like this year for you guys to achieve that?
For me personally, it was lots of sleepless nights. And we have both talked multiple times. We crunch numbers all the time. That's what track is about, is crunching numbers. And we crunch numbers. And then you finally get to a point that you have to say, that's all numbers. This is what you think they can do, but it depends on what they perform that day. It doesn't matter if they went out and ran 1 minute 400. They could run 4 seconds slower, or they could run, just whatever it is. They could jump a foot shorter or throw 6 feet shorter. So you predict things and you hope for the best, and it doesn't always turn out. We had some of those. And my kids will probably tell you that they knew I was stressed out most of the day, but I tried to hide it the best I could.
She's terrible at hiding it.
But I'm not a very good hider at stress. And I think I paced that track. I don't know how many steps I had that day, but I was pacing a lot.
Well, Coach Gustin, tell me a little bit about, for those who haven't been and don't understand how the track and field works, there's a point system tied into that, correct? To determine which team is the winning team.
Well, and that's a lot of the crunching numbers that we do. You go back and, you kind of rank everybody in the state time-wise where they're at. And first place gets 10 points, second gets 8, and then all the way down to 8th place gets 1. And the whole goal with the team championship is trying to accumulate the most points in every race throughout the whole night. And we knew about halfway through the season that there was a possibility that we could have a special year. With COVID hitting last year, we kind of felt like last year we had that opportunity too, because we pretty much had the same group of girls that are very close. And, we had a few more distance runners last year than we did this year, but we felt like we had a shot last year, and then it got taken away. Because we were crunching numbers then too. But this year, about halfway through, we kind of looked at each other, and it's like, we want to win a conference title, yes, but our goal is state. And that we kind of had a different tone this year. Kids ran different things than they usually do to try to find places to where at state, that kid might just have been a 400 runner. Well, throughout the year, we started, okay, let's try to push them to the 300 hurdles and see if at the state level, not just our conference, if at state they can compete, and then towards the end of the year, she would run from me all the time because I'm like, I've got a sheet here with all the numbers on it. This is where we should place. which I want to know. She does not. She wants to. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And she'd run from me like you with your microphone.
I crunch my own numbers and I know where we are supposed to be, but I don't look at everything he does. I mean, I looked at where teams had placed in their district and where they had that, but he pretty much pulled everybody and added up all their scores, and this is where our prediction is. About halfway through the season, they always do a ranking, and everything track related goes through AR mile split. Just like basketball stats are on now, used to be Max Prep, and now it is Dragonfly. But everything track stuff goes through ar.milesplit.com. And so they put out rankings and we were ranked. And they never put out rankings again. They would do they would do 5 and 6A. They would do those almost every other week, but they didn't ever actually go back through and do 2A. So going into it, I just kept telling myself, well, we're only ranked second. We just got to beat one team. We're only ranked second. And there was times it's like, we could be right up there at the top, but it just makes me a nervous wreck actually seeing it.
Well, and I know you had a couple teams that were recognized for being, different relays and stuff like that for winning down there. Anything you want to say about those groups who really and those athletes who really took it to a whole new level at state championship?
So we thought when we left here, we thought that there was a chance that we could have 4 individual event winners. And we came back with 2, so that we were proud of that, being 50%. Our single boy was Caden Curtis in the pole vault. And I'll let Coach Clark give some more information on him. And then our girls in the 4x4, they were the state champions in that event. Our disc thrower was runner up, got beat on the last 2 throws. So she was right there at the distance. What was it?
She got beat by a foot. So it was like 106 to 107.
And a foot in disc isn't very much. I mean, you talk about a 1/10 of a second, and the 100 is a lot in the 100. But you think about that in a throwing event, and a foot is really not that much, definitely in the disc. So there was one that she was ranked number 1. And we had calculated 10 points and we only got 8 points. But she performed right where we thought she would perform. Someone just did better than her that day.
She threw the best.
And then the other one was our 4x1 relay and girls. We had 2 9th graders on that, and it's all about handoffs, and it's no one to blame. We practiced handoffs at district, and that's the only time we got to run it before the state track meet, and we practiced handoffs in practice one day, and it's not the same, and practice is nowhere close to the same in the competition. And again, there is no one to blame for any of those handoffs being missed, but we finished. We got points in it. It wasn't like we lost points in that. And again, it's a team effort at the end. Yeah, you are an individual in track, but you're trying to get as many points as you can for your team in the end. And that's hard for some people to understand because of there being so many individual events.
Yeah, Coach Clark, you want to share that about the young gentleman?
Oh, well, we've had pole vault about 5 years, and he's a junior right now. About year 2 or 3, he started and wanted to get into it as a 9th grader, and as a 9th grader ended up second in state. Because we moved him up after junior high district was over, and he ended up second place in the state. And we come back, and then we hit COVID last year, and he doesn't get to vault but 2 meets. And then we come back this year, and he ends up breaking the school record. And then, we knew he had a shot. And then it came down to him and one other young man from Mansfield, and they kind of dueled it out there at the end. And Caden ended up beating him by about, I think it was 6 inches. you know, but he ended up vaulting 12 feet on the year. And I think he's got a shot next year to be real special.
Yeah, it sounds like, you have a lot of young talent, so that, should continue into next year. And we're going to be excited to continue to follow you guys next year. And what a tremendous year. And you two, work very well together. So, the yin and the yang, everything. So, I mean, you guys, congratulations on that. But also, we know you guys too from coaching some other sports. I know, April, you coach volleyball, and then Coach Clark, I know you coach junior high football. So let's transition, talk about that a little bit. Coach Martin, we got a chance to cover some of your volleyball games last year on TLSN. Kind of tell us about your season last year, but then also, hey, you're going to be playing in just 2 months, so it's almost time to get around again.
Yes, it is. We're already in the gym practicing 2 or 3 days a week. We've had a team camp. We're going to another team camp. Have a group coming in and doing an individual camp. Last year, we couldn't do any of that stuff, and last year was a hard year. It was for everybody, but I felt like we were kind of the guinea pigs because we were the first sport to get started in COVID world, and it hit our team hard. It never took our whole team out. But it hit our team hard. And I felt like even at the end of the year, we still were not 100% playing as a team, just because we would have, 2 weeks here where one starter would be out and we would have to change something. And then we would have a week where we'd have everybody, and maybe the next week or next 2 weeks, we have somebody else out just because of quarantines and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't feel like last year we ever 100% got to play together long enough to get things figured out. We had times, like I said, we had kids quarantined for 2 weeks. We had times where we would have practice at 6:30 in the morning, and by noon we'd have a kid quarantined, and I would be saying, okay, I need you guys all at the gym right after school because we got to figure this out. And I feel like it's harder because I also coach basketball. It's harder in volleyball because of the different positions, and you can't just sub anybody in at any time. In basketball, if one person's doing bad, you can sub anybody in for them. In volleyball, you can only sub in. So I felt like we had struggles, and everybody had those struggles. So that's not an excuse for us not making it to the state tournament or anything like that. We lost some very valuable seniors, but we have some 10th graders moving up that will help us. We will have 5 seniors this year again. So we are a little younger than we were last year, because we had mostly juniors and seniors last year. But that's a good thing for us. I've had anywhere from 20 to 35 junior high kids showing up for gym time. So that's a great thing for us to be able to have that many kids showing up at that young age. I mean, it's almost overwhelming. It's like, where do you put all these kids on a court because they can't all fit? So I think we're going in the right direction again. I mean, you're going to have down years. Ours just happened to be last year during COVID time. And we hope to move forward and move on.
Well, you guys definitely were the guinea pig, and it was about the same time as football too. Football and volleyball both kind of went through the same thing. Coach Clark, share a little bit about your experience last year with all that, and then also outlook for next year.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was just your planning with COVID. Because when you would bring your kids in, we had a grid pattern on the football field to where they were 10, 12 feet apart. And the kids, as soon as they got there, they all lined up on the field. And then we came through and did temperature checks on all 50 kids or however many it was that were there. And then we would only take so many in the weight room at a time. And then the rest were out on the field. And then you'd have to sanitize the weight room before the next group got to come in. And it was tough. But the kids were willing to do it because they were thankful to get to do it. After getting to see those groups of seniors, those spring sport kids that had to leave the school with pretty much, not a real graduation, and without getting to finish their spring sports, without getting to do those things and there was a lot of those kids that they looked forward to those spring sports. So COVID hit, and then going into football, that was, which, like Miss Martin, we were fortunate to not get hit hard. And I think in our classroom, I think we can thank a lot of that reentry team that put our stuff together, because it made it to where, and we were smart as coaches to put our kids in the classroom. If you're football kids, I spread you out in the room. Mm-hmm. That way, if we lose one of you to quarantine, we're not going to lose 10 of you set together. So we told them in every class, you need to spread out and separate. And that helped. But the kids were willing to do it because they just wanted to play. And that made it to where when you've got a group of kids that they'll do whatever they need to do, they're just thankful to get to play. And that was the attitude with a lot of kids. And I think that was the attitude with Miss Martin's kids. They're happy to be there. And I think our kids right now in football, which we've got a new coach, Coach Justin Crane, and he started pretty much beginning of June. And we've been running full football practices. And usually, which we're not in pads, we're just in helmets, but usually you don't start doing that till the end of July. But with us being on kind of a short time frame of getting a whole new offense and defense in, that we've had to go. And it's been a good transition. And I think the kids, they're hungry because they want normalcy. We've been able to come in. We're not wearing masks on the football field, in and out of the locker rooms. And the kids, you hear comments all the time. It is so nice to be in the weight room, coach, and not have to worry about wearing a mask. And that's been a big thing. And I think that group of kids will be very thankful that they get to play.
Well, I want to compliment you guys. Just did a tremendous job. I know the changing was crazy because we'd be scheduled to go broadcast a game and then canceled. I mean, you should see the calendar I was keeping marking through, but you guys did such a tremendous job handling under circumstances like probably never had to deal with. So appreciate all the work on that. We're excited to cover you guys with football and then also volleyball coming up very shortly. But real quick, we did graduation a few weeks ago. We had some seniors graduate. We were fortunate enough to get to come over and cover it. Just real quick, any thoughts or memories of your senior groups that just graduated, maybe from volleyball or track or whatever?
So almost all of our trackers were volleyballers also. So it's like you're losing two kids really, but it's really one person. And they were just a fun group, and definitely in track, our ninth graders stepped up and they realized what was on the line for those seniors. And those seniors included those ninth graders so much, because we had lots of ninth graders move up and help us. And just that relationship that those seniors had, I'm not sure we have had a group of seniors take ninth graders in as well as they did. So just that whole group being there for them and showing them that this is what you can do, and we're going to be right there cheering for you.
Well, I mean, every one of our relay teams, boys or girls, had ninth graders on them. All of our state qualifying relays, they had ninth graders, kids that stepped up, and our seniors led, and they. There was never any bickering. There was never any complaining or moaning. But I think our kids are getting to the point that they understand that it's not just about them. We're trying to get everybody in here and get the right people in the right spot. And I mean, I had to pull some seniors off some relays to make us competitive at the state level. And that hurts some feelings sometimes, but they start to understand now that why we do what we do. And that group of kids will be missed because they didn't gripe and complain when they got pulled. He runs better than me. He needs to go. And when you get a group of kids that do that, you're going to miss them.
Well, that's fantastic here. And I'm really excited about this next year because I think it was right at the end of basketball season. We finally got a chance to deal with, usually our mics were like set super low. And then we were calling the Yellville and Cotter girls game over at Cotter in I think it was district championship, district tournament. And it's like, all right, people are online. They're saying they can't hear us because we had crowd noise again. So we had to turn everything back up. So we're going to be really excited, with football and volleyball and basketball to have those crowds back out there because Yellville always has a great support base over there.
Yes, we do. And we're very thankful for that. That is one thing, that we've always had a great community, but the amount of people that have reached out to one of us since May 5th when we won the girls track, it has been awesome. And we cannot thank our community enough for everything that they have done for us in less than a month or a little over a month. So we are very thankful for our community.
Well, that was the easy questions. Now I got like 5 rapid fire questions for you. So these are going to be the real difficult. I appreciate you guys kind of hanging on. All right. Question number 1. All right. You guys are track coaches. All right. So who wins in shot put? Coach Jones or Coach Mallett?
Oh, Mallett.
Yeah, Mallett.
All right. Mallett takes it. I figured Joe, he's into comic books, superheroes, maybe has some superhero Thor strength where he can throw the hammer.
He threw shot and disc in college too. I just think Calvin at this point is probably in a little better shape.
Okay. All right. Well, and I know this was a hard one. I kind of gave you guys this one earlier. Favorite carnival food?
What do you got?
Mine's popcorn.
Funnel cakes.
All right. Popcorn, funnel cakes. All right. Now, and I know April, you're real big in fishing from what I've heard. So, all right. So tell me, do you like to fish on the lake or the river?
The lake.
Okay.
I don't really, we catfish. My family catfishes, not so much bass fishing, but we have a fishing boat, not a lake fishing boat, not a river boat.
Hey, what about you, Coach Clark?
I'm a river guy, river and creek.
All right, river and creek. All right. So, all right. Now, we talked a little bit of basketball a little while ago. So who wins one-on-one matchup, Joe Couch or Hunter Sims? Who takes that victory?
I'm gonna go Sims because of youth, but if they've got to play inside the free throw line or in
Coach
the block,
Couch I don't know. I can't make that decision. They both hate me if I said one or the other.
I'm gonna go Sims.
All right. Well, all right. Best sports movie in your opinion?
Best sports movie.
Oh, I know this one already.
You go right ahead.
Remember the Titans.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
I like that one. I can't even.
There's even basketball ones that
I know,
rival it. Coach Carter's right there.
Coach Carter's a good one. I do like Coach Carter. There was a volleyball one that just came out a couple years ago that I showed my whole team, and I can't think of it.
Watched that one.
It was good though. I don't remember what it was.
All right. We'll give you a pass on that one. So,
Yeah.
All right, now this is the controversial one, okay? And right now it's split 50-50 on TLSN Overtime. And then we got a show called The Slop Drop that I do. It's actually a professional wrestling where we interview wrestlers, and it's like right now it's split 50-50 on this. All right, is cheesecake a cake or a pie?
It's really good. That's like the only sweet I eat.
I'm gonna say it's a pie,
But
because it's filled into a crust.
it is filled into a crust.
I'm a dessert guy.
Cake is like squishier, I feel like, than cheesecake is. I'm gonna say pie.
Okay, we got 2. So now pie has stepped out into the lead. So, but guys, I know you got a practice that you're doing at 6:00. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time. Congratulations to the Lady Panthers team. And we're looking forward to watching volleyball, junior high and high school football this next year. Anything TLSN can ever do for you guys, let us know. But congratulations to your Panther teams over there. Great job. And what a year you guys made it through last year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And thanks for what you guys do.
All right. So this is the Loose Cannon, David McBee. And to everyone out there tuned in, go out and do something nice for someone. And remember, your tomorrows are never guaranteed. Have a great week from all of us here at the Twin Lakes Sports Network.
30 seconds left. Sanchez and Steele. Gets it off to Clausen. Clausen stops. Pops. 3-point shot. Oh, my goodness. pass, knocked loose. Riddle comes away with it. The Riddler.
And it's slam dunk by Riddle.
Riddle with the steal and the throwdown. Look into the air. He's got a man open. Passes up. Complete. Touchdown, Yellville!